Hi, I'm Words here, and I'm making a game. And I'm at 30 frames a second now, and I have lowered the boost on my microphone, so it might not be as staticky sounding. I don't know, I think the last couple of videos at least were like that. I could have sworn it was fine before, and in fact a little too soft like this, so I'm kind of trying to talk a little louder. I did just check, I did a little test, and it sounded okay, I think, but you might have to turn up your speakers, and I'm sorry. But, okay. I changed the level layout a bit to illustrate the what I'm doing here, and you're kind of wee, and it's a little rocky there in the middle because it's not really. I didn't really make a test case for hitting the bottom there, but wow. But that's okay because I need something like that will hopefully never actually show up in a level normally. Now, obviously, I think the drag of friction is a little high. I've exaggerated it, I suppose, is what it really is. But it's kind of impossible to tell like what's going on here. In theory, because your max speed is lower going up this bit, I might increase that a little more just to better illustrate. But supposedly, from what according to the code that I wrote, your max speed, you slow down a lot going back up this hill. And I'm going to try increasing it. It might not actually let me ride up that hill if I make it any higher. 340 to 470. And then let's make it 270. Nice and steep. I hope that's steep enough. Oh, that's a nice. Look at that hill. Yeah, I can still go up that. It's actually kind of interesting. Yeah, it's clearly the actual the effect of gravity is a bit much right now, but so I might just actually change that. But for now, well, for now, what I'd rather do is actually I'd like to make that even steeper. I could go all the way up to like, let's take another 100 off. So see how steep that is, because I want to make it. I want to see one where you can't actually go up it. Oops. Oh, you can still, just barely, because it's supposed to be like your speed increases. Oh my! Wee! Wow. That's actually rather amusing. I need to fix something actually, but we're not going to worry about. Oh, I can worry about that right now. What I just noticed is that if you don't press any buttons and you're going to the left like that, you're not actually slowing down like I'd wanted you to. Not quickly, anyway. Huh. Oh well. Doesn't matter. I think what I'm going to do is I want to lower the effect of gravity, but it would feel kind of funny if you could actually get up that hill. I might have it and see how that works out. Lower the weight too, make it so that your max speed isn't quite as much either. See, now you just kind of slide up it. See, but it's doing the opposite of what, because going up it, your max speed ought to be lower. And I've completely got that wrong. That's part of the problem. See, what I've done is I've said your max speed increases based on weight, blah blah blah, and that's true as far as if you're going, depending depending on which way you're going, actually. Because I've done this quite wrong. What I've claimed is that no matter which way you're going, your X speed is increased thusly, but what I need to do is, what I actually got to do is I have to just store weight, like that. Get rid of M for max speed. We don't need you. And then down here where it says all that M stuff, all that stuff about M, which doesn't exist now, change that back to max speed, and you'll see why. What we want to do is, we want to make it so that your max speed going to the left. Oh, but it depends. Oh, wait, no, it does have to be M. Ooh, undo. Wait. Okay, what we actually have to do is, weight is going to be the same either way, but, max speed actually does, it depends on whether you're going up or down. It does, and that's the thing. It depends on which direction you're moving in. And that's why I almost did that, and then I changed it back because I couldn't, because it wasn't going to work, and then I realized, okay. Point is, before I was trying to claim that it was actually making your max speed slower going up a hill, and that obviously wasn't true. If you were paying any attention, which I clearly wasn't, you might have noticed that. So if you're smarter than me, which isn't hard to do, and you might have noticed that that wasn't actually working like I was claiming it was. So I'm going to fix it now. Okay. Actually, what I was just saying, all that stuff I was just saying about that, blah 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 blah. Let's fix that. Let's do that. Let's do it the other way. And then I said, no, let's not do that way. Now I'm going to say let's do it that way, because I don't know why I freaked out right just then. So weight is W, is the, so, okay, so you're pressing left, you're trying to move left, your max speed. Oh, but, now I remember why. Oh, Corin blimey. It depends on whether or not you're going up or down. Okay. Because actually, just because you're moving left, okay, you're moving left, we had to know whether or not moving left is moving up or down a hill. So, how can we figure that out? I could have two different numbers. I could have a left and a right, and base it on whether or not it's up or down, so that, okay. So I can make it so that if, okay, here's what we'll do. WL for weight going left, WR for weight going right. And what we'll do is we'll say, it's the same thing, but we're taking the whole thing and we're saying WL, and we're also doing WR, and it's different. It's actually negative for one of them depending on which way you're going. And this is the one where this node is higher up, so left is going left, your weight is increased, so minus. Going right, your weight is okay. Cool. Copy and paste, and move the negative. And now what we do is all these places where it talks about a M, we're going to change that. We're going to say negative max speed. And since we're trying to move, what we're talking about here is going left, we're going to say plus WL, the weight left. And that will actually decrease the max speed going up a hill this way. It'll increase it, and it'll increase it going down a hill this way, going down a hill this way. There we go. And we're going to do the same thing for those other bits. Max speed plus L, like that. Copy and paste, paste, and there we go. Same thing over here. except minus, and we don't really need the parentheses anymore, do we? Minus, or no, it's actually plus WR. Wait, if they're just opposites, why do I need, oh my god. Okay. I keep thinking of things that make more sense than what I'm doing. Okay, what I can do is I can say weight is always to the left, let's say. And where it says W, what I can do is I can say plus on the left and minus on the right. It's actually a good idea. There we go. So now this is all max speed minus W, max speed minus W. And that should be the only place where max speed is actually affected. Oh, and then here's our W. Now this is actually different depending on whether or not, so speed is now greater than W. So it's going, see, but what we did was we made it so that W can be negative up here. And that's going to affect how this works. I could say the absolute value of it. And then we could, so we would get rid of that negative in those negative cases, and then we would have where the speed is, but it might be different. Well, I'm just going to say that. I'm going to say absolute value for now, because I don't know what it is I'm actually needing to do here. We're not going to worry about that for now. That should change that. Or it'll give us an error, or it won't work. One of those, as always. Might have gotten that backwards. Nope, I didn't. Your max speed is clearly increased, going down this hill as opposed to up. And of course greatly exaggerated here by these steep hills. Yep, yeah, it's clearly working correctly here. Okay, so we have that taken care of. Now about that jumping that I was saying, oh, look at that. Unknown variable, because I didn't actually set W. Naughty, naughty. There. Anyway. Now you can jump freely. Jump all you like. Anyway, and as you know, okay, so we still have floaty jumping. And actually, you can't jump from, can't exactly, well, maybe you actually are jumping, it's just working weird, but, I'm pretty sure you can't. Look at that, you stop. Oh, right, because of the, thing that I'm about to talk, okay, the, jumping thing that I was talking about before, I was saying I was going to fix that. I was going to make it so that jumping doesn't stack. And all I have to do is, I'm going to make it so that I would have, okay, well, first off, I would have more variables. We need to have a max speed while in the air, which is going to be different than your normal max speed. So, max air speed. And that's going to be, let's say, well, really, we'll call it 12 for now. I don't know what I really ought to set it to. And then you also have to have air speed, I don't know, air add, let's call it. That's where you're adding, like your speed add, how fast you can move, how fastly you can get to. Max speed was what that was the same thing for this, except in the air. And we're gonna make it smaller, so that you can't affect your speed. And actually, you're also gonna have air brakes. So you have air stop. That's also going to, and actually, it's actually going to be the opposite of on the ground. You can stop really quick and turn around. the air, you're not going to be able to do that. In fact, you're going to be slower trying to move in the opposite direction of what direction you're already moving in. Yeah. So you'll be able to, if you're, moving in this direction, you'll be able to affect it to, as you jump, if you're not up to max speed, you'll be able to increase your speed while in the air, which really doesn't make sense, but that's okay. All we're worried about is making it so that it, works. Do I have that bit in here? I do. Interesting. I don't really need anything in these, do I, anymore? Might have been affecting things. Doesn't matter. Space still works like this. You can jump, blah blah blah. Don't really need to worry about that. So, what we're going to do is... so we're going to just add it in so that this works like that. And this has all gotten very complicated, so I might need to start moving this stuff around to like scripts and stuff so I can just sort of open up the right script. But basically, what we need to do is make it so that it checks whether or not you're on the ground for all this stuff. So this is if on ground. Does that. And that. Otherwise, air stop. But otherwise, air speed. Or air add, I think is what I called it actually on that. And then here what we do is we say if on ground, that's the same thing again. Oopsies. There we go. And else we're doing the exact same thing as up there, so I might as well copy it. But instead of doing the weight thing, doesn't actually matter as far as moving left and right on the ground, on the air. So we're going to say max air speed. Actually, we can just add air. And the max slow doesn't actually matter. There is no yeah, you're not actually gonna slow down like that. You're gonna snap on in the air because well, I guess I could make it slow. Well, yeah. We're gonna leave it like that for now. We don't need this W bit. That's all I know for certain. And we're doing the exact same thing down here, so we're gonna do some more copying and pasting. I know how much fun that is. All we need for this is this bit. Boop, 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 boop. And then this is just else, and it's the same thing except air stop. And this is just else, it's the same thing except it's just air add. We're doing the exact same thing again. So that when you're on the air, when you're in the air, you can move like you're in the air. then the other part of this is the A stuff isn't actually going to come into play at all if you're in the air, obviously. This is all if you're on the ground. All of that. Otherwise, none of that actually happens at all, because you don't get to stop because you're not pressing a button in the air. Done. I think. Or errors, one of those. It's a little awkward right now, but mostly because of the terrain. But as you can see, it's hard to tell because you can't see what I'm pressing, but I can let go of the buttons and he'll keep moving in that direction as he jumps through the air. I'm gonna change this really quick. I'm gonna pause and come back with the level fixed to where it was before. Well, we're bumping into all sorts of problems here, but I did go ahead and fix this up so that as you can see, well, or really you can't, but if I let go of the buttons, it does in fact let me jump around. Also, whoa, holy crap, it's all slidey because I don't know why. This gradual grade here should only be giving a partial actual, should only be giving like a small bonus to max speed. I might need to do some debugging, make it maybe display what's going on, but I am starting to run out of time here on this one, so that might be something for next time. Why would it be doing that though? What I've tried to do is make it so that let's see, maybe weight is just too high and that's all there is to it, you know, but it should be subtracting from it. If you're moving left and that's up an incline, then yeah, that should be minus. Then it should be, yeah, because it should be negative, and then it's adding the negative, so it should be lowering your max speed. I know why. I know why. It's because of how I have this set up now. I changed it so it's a max slow thing, so that it actually what it was supposed to do was make it so that if you're going, you know, like downhill, and then you hit like a flat bit, instead of suddenly stopping, suddenly coming to like suddenly, you know, slowing down, like just bam, slowing down, you would slow, like you would slow down to your new max speed for that, you know, incline. But I'm not so sure that's going to be working out, because that doesn't because I could increase this max slow number, and that will probably affect it a lot, but I don't know if it'll actually, it might have to just be removed completely, because I might not be able to, that might not actually work at all. Oh, well, now you're not sliding around all the time, but that's weird though. That shouldn't actually work like that. At least that's not what I meant to do. Well, in any case, you're still floaty. There's still weird things with inclines. So you know what's new, you know? There's all sorts of weird bugs, pretty much. And there's also still this, which you can't really see on this at all, actually, but trust me, it's not working right. When these are, you know, steeper inclines especially, if you hit a wall like that, you'll come off of it straight because of how I've done the code. And I'd like to fix that. I have a couple of ideas of how I can actually do that. By basically making it so that what I'm going to do is, the idea is to make it so that it figures out the your velocity going down, so that when you cross one of those and and you're no longer snapping to the ground, it'll actually set your vertical velocity to what it actually was going across that incline. And in theory, because of how this works now, you shouldn't be able to turn around and land on the thing again or anything like that, so it won't be a problem, I don't think. That should be able to work without any weird side effects. But if when I screw it up, it'll look quite silly. So, look forward to that. Oh my, well, subscribe if you like air control. You should like, because you're my bestest friend. Bye.